Hi guys, Mel here. We're back. Had a lot of stuff going on. Been incredibly busy. To say I've been incredibly busy would be an understatement, beyond an understatement. But anyway, nonetheless, progress was made on the system. The supercharging effect was enhanced even more. But yeah, basically I've been working over full time. Also cranking out and pumping out orders, along with working full time. Renovating my basement workshop a bit to be more clean, a little bit larger. I'll have pictures of that soon, and maybe even a video. And also, the state I'm in just passed a very unconstitutional gun law called H 4885, I believe, which makes it nearly illegal to own most forms of firearms in Massachusetts. So a lot of people I know, work with, groups I'm in, they're all like, you gotta buy a lot of guns before August 1st. So yeah, shit's getting really wild, especially in the state I'm in. Migrants are running around in the stores, committing robberies left and right. It's just crazy. But anyway, back to the research. I'm pretty much balls to the wall, non-stop busy. Work 7 days a week, all the time. But yeah, we're back at it. We've always been back at it. This is just a video update. I have Gmail also actively deleting my emails, so I'll be setting up 1 or 2 Proton mails as well with a VPN, so that'll fix a lot of issues. A lot of my comments get deleted, my emails even get fucking deleted, and basically just anything Google related is deleting anything I post or write, and they're even deleting some of my emails. It's insane. But anyway, there's ways around that. And yeah, so the improvements with the system that were made was an improvement on the supercharging effect. Basically what we have is just a crappy old test battery. I got this one from work. It's a old AGM battery, and I was really testing the supercharge effect with it to make sure there's like nothing mistaken going on, and it's absolutely there. And the other interesting effect is I have 2 barium titanate ferrite magnets. I believe they're BAITO3. They're special ceramic magnets. They are in attraction mode, so north is facing south. They are on the center of the coil, and it absolutely improved the efficiency somehow, made the tuning better, and enhanced the supercharge effect. The supercharge effect I'm talking about is present when you hook up the output here of the yellow coil, the Tesla coil, wound per Tesla patent 336961. I pretty much have it memorized now. Basically, you hook it up on an oscilloscope, and the effect only shows up when you're recharging a battery or a supercapacitor. You see that waveform. It's called the supercharge effect, also known as negative resistance. The waveform starts slow, gets big, and for those who want to know, you ground the endpoint of the system here. That green wire connects to a heavy earth connection, and doing that allows you to get phenomenal wireless power. So the ringer circuit, it's a modified ringer circuit first invented by lasersaber or laser hacker. What we do different is we wound a super joule ringer circuit on a type 77 met glass laced ferrite rod. But instead of using the power directly like he does, we send the power into an earth grounded, negative resistant RLC circuit. So we closed the circuit, made it a negative resistant closed RLC nonlinear circuit in contact with the earth ground. So we have heat pump like effects occurring and nonlinearity in contact with the Earth's electrical system. So we then tap that power wirelessly with Tesla's yellow coil here, wound per patent 336961. And if you look at my community posts on my YouTube channel, you'll see exact circuit diagrams how this is made. The L1 and L2 coil are wound opposite to each other. They have to be bucking or the system won't work. And this L3 extra yellow Tesla coil that does your supercharging effect is wound in the same direction as the L2. So again, the L1 is thinner wire, 26 AWG, and the L2 is 14 AWG, and the L3 Tesla coil here is 16 AWG stranded, whereas the other two coils were solid copper wire, highest quality you can get. L1, L2 bucking, L3 in same direction as L2. Full schematics on the community post on my YouTube channel. So anyway, the theory behind how it works is we make a negative resistant nonlinear circuit, earth grounded, and the circuit stimulates the ambient environment to release excess energy, similar to a heat pump, and how a heat pump can be over 100% efficient by moving larger amounts of heat than the power required to drive that force. And there's plenty of documentation of that. So anyway, I'll turn the system on, and we also tap into the system wirelessly with this coil and resonantly to avoid detuning the primary negative resistant RLC circuit. So that explains it. I'll turn it on. We have a source 5 amp hour supercapacitor LiFePO PO4 battery hybrid that powers the device. It is a 5 amp hour 14 volt DC. I have this charged up to 13.8 volts DC. Passes through an analog amp meter, powers up the ringer circuit. When I turn it on, as you see, it's off. I use this as a little wireless detector light. The system is off. When I turn it on, you see we consume power. I got the power consumption down to, well, I can tune the power consumption to whatever I want, but I'm trying to maximize the supercharge effect, so we're at 1 amp power consumption, while we have a maximized wireless power output and supercharge effect. As you see, this light gets extremely bright here, to the point where it hurts your eyes to look at. And the supercharge effect is very noticeable when I hook it up to this battery. Our wireless power is phenomenal. No degradation to the source. A wireless power pickup stick. It's just a ferrite rod, type 77, met glass laced. This lights up too when just brought near the system. Hopefully you can see that. No impact drain at all to the system. The magnet here really has an interesting effect. And this is just a loop of wire here, and this will light up with no drain or impact on the system whatsoever. So I'm thinking of making a special looped coil here to experiment with. Now here's where the phenomenal effects of the system come in. I will connect the output here. That power output is coming from the yellow Tesla coil system here. The yellow coils with the sandwich between the two magnets in attraction mode. I will hook up to the battery, and we will watch the rapid supercharge effect. And here's that rapid supercharge effect. So that's supercharging very quick. This is our power consumption, a little under 1 amp. If I were to hook the oscilloscope up to this battery, we would see a negative resistant waveform. I've shown that in my older videos. I don't feel like hooking it up right now. It's been a long day, and we still have the phenomenal wireless power effects. I take this 10 watt bulb here, little mini 10 watt halogen. Hopefully I'll zoom in on it, you can see it. It is a 10 watt halogen. Get it nice and visible. 10 watt, 12 volt 10 watt. And what I'm proving is proving that the charge is real and not fake in any way. So when I hook up this battery that's experiencing the supercharge effect to the light, it will still work. Like, we can see that the charge is real and capable of doing actual work in the form of wattage and heat expenditure, which is right here. So we're running the load. That's what our voltage is dropping to. And keep in mind, this is a completely dead AGM battery I got from work. Shouldn't even be recharged. It was completely dead when I got it. And I've only ever recharged it from this system as a test. And it performs great, performs fine. The great effects of the system come into play with that supercharge effect. And I feel heat coming off that. And again, also, phenomenal wireless power. A lot to talk about. Wireless detector light, still phenomenal amounts of wireless power when the system is on. I shut the ringer off. We will see that wireless power effect cease. It's off. Light is obviously still on because we're powering it off the battery. We're just not supercharging it now. Without that supercharge effect taking place, this nearly dead battery cannot run a 10-watt halogen light, as you're seeing here. Dropping very quickly. And I turn this back on. We're back on, and the supercharging effect takes hold. The wireless power is even around the battery, which is very interesting. I can touch this to the most random things in my room, and strange things happen. Right here. Phenomenal wireless power to the point where it'll bend your mind. Like, these effects shouldn't even be possible from something like that. There we go. So I'm about to end this video, just give you a quick update. Also, I got more exotic rods, higher quality, highest quality at the moment from the factory, Type 77 Met glass laced, highest quality, slight bit of ceramic in there. I have the exact data chart somewhere, and they're almost kind of brittle, and they become slightly magnetic when energized with power. Hopefully you can really see it kind of sparkling. You can really see that Met glass reflecting in there. Hopefully I can show that. The light is just kind of drowning everything out, but maybe you can see that Met glass kind of sparkling within it. Very interesting exotic material. I got the best version you can get right now. Very heavy. I ordered them in bulk from the Chinese manufacturer. China, Russia, and Ukraine seem to be the only ones that make this state-of-the-art exotic stuff. Met glass laced, at least for public sale anyway. You need a commercial account to get it. We have one. Takes about a month to get to me. I buy them in bulk. Very brittle, but very effective. They're not too brittle. You can't like be too rough with them. We got packs of them that came in. So we'll be selling these, probably just this type, because this is the most efficient type. So, figured I'd give that update. Show you how they look. And again, our light is being run from a nearly dead battery. It actually slightly charged while running the incandescent load. When I disconnect the incandescent load, the supercharge effect from the system takes hold, and we're supercharging a nearly dead battery. So, figured I'd demonstrate that. We have the arch form here, or the system, the arch form / system for hyperfast recharging of batteries. And as all the ancient electrical engineering textbooks say, all generators are arch forms for power manifestation. When wind passes through a wind turbine, the wind wasn't converted into energy. You don't have less wind as it passes through the turbine. You set up an arch form to capture ambient energy into stimulating your device to produce power. Kind of like how when water flows over a water wheel, you don't have less water. So hopefully that makes sense to people. Some great books to read are by Charles Steinmetz. Waves, Impulses, Discharges. Eric Dollard has great work. Basically, the term dielectricity isn't even used in schools anymore. That's more great work. Our Patreon has tons of that work all listed for free. Free download, free PDF to look at. Archive of knowledge all for free. I'm using the Patreon as just a massive website and knowledge bank of free information for everyone to access. Even if you're not a member, you have access to hosts of knowledge, calculators, charts, all sorts of fun stuff, all for free. And we're hypercharging this nearly dead battery. And again, I'll hook up our incandescent load. Runs no problem. And I think this system would be most efficient at running a generator, a motor generator combo when properly tuned, because Eric Dollard, in his theory of energy synthesis, believes any system that varies capacitance with respect to inductance and time. When you vary capacitance and inductance with respect to time, you will have energy synthesis anomalies, meaning you have the manifestation of excess power in the system due to nonlinear effects and the capturing of ambient energy in the environment. So, or it could be coming from the ether. That could be the theory. Because at the end of the day, the conservation of energy completely breaks down when you deal with this type of nonlinear, high-frequency pulsed DC system. Because where did the energy to originally start the universe come from? It's a very good question, and when you apply ancient field theory and Occam's razor-based physics to it, you're left with more questions than answers. So yeah, next I will show how we can run a motor from the raw output of the negative resistant ringer. So we are not charging the battery anymore. This is the negative output. This is the raw output of the negative resistant ringer that does the supercharge effect. I like to test its power output by connecting it to an incandescent light bulb, 40 watt, 120 volt AC. And this just shows me I have a really good output here for recharging batteries very fast, having phenomenal wireless power, and just doing cool things. And then next I will hook up the motor, like I said. Phenomenal wireless power to the point it blows your mind. And when these effects occur, there's no excess power drain on the system, and if you don't think that's coming from the system, I'll shut it off. Wireless power effects have ceased. The phenomenal results come from a compendium of how the system is made, the nonlinear materials we used, the theory behind it, the earth grounding, the negative resistant components, the diodes, the Type 77 mech glass laced rod, all the coils built equal in mass to each other for utmost efficiency. Whenever you're messing with wireless power, you want the utmost efficient coils. You build them all equal in mass to each other. They talk to each other at the utmost efficiency. Suppose in theory the magnets that are in attraction mode could have been cut to a surface area that's a harmonic of the frequency the system's giving off to be even more efficient, but nonetheless you can negate that by sliding them, and we achieve that inductance tuning and sliding them, and it seems to be the best in the middle in attraction mode, which is very interesting because that might be similar to a Floyd Sparky Sweet system. Just a theory, and I'm trying to keep this video under 20 minutes. That's the end charge on our battery, and I promised I'd hook up the motor. We will do that. So I'm showing you this system can run motors no problem. It can supercharge batteries. It can run incandescent loads. There's our motor running full bore. Power consumption still at 1 amp. Still have impressive wireless power. No degradation on the quality or power output of the motor. And if you get the right capacitor in tune with that motor, it could drive a large generator, no problem. And again, that would make your power system even more nonlinear. You have a motor-generator combo that varies inductance and capacitance with respect to time for even more power output. So that's some good food for thought. And I'll connect up the battery again for the supercharge effect. Here we go. Here's that supercharge effect. Notice though the output doesn't look too impressive. We're at a high pulsed DC frequency. We have a supercharge effect. Very fast. And your cycles per second come into play here, along with your earth grounding. So we're now hooked up the 10 watt incandescent load. We can run it no problem, almost indefinitely. So figured I'd say that. Just give you guys an update video. Thank you, everyone. We're also swamped with orders. Feel free to place one. We sell the Ringer generator board for $1,000 now. We dropped the price because we have more fine-tuned components. Things have become more refined, and our goal is to make them as cheap as possible and as refined as possible. And as technology keeps progressing, the price actually slightly dropped on a lot of things. Ringer generator board sells for $1,000, which would include an inverter. It's on the Patreon. It would include an inverter, a battery system, this coil system already tuned. Just the negative resistant ringer is $350. And for the people whining, I give you full exact schematic details on my YouTube community post. How to build this thing. Exact schematics. Nothing held back, nothing locked behind a paywall. So you just got to get building. And you might have to wait a bit if you order the exact parts I list and you want it to be exactly as I describe and make. All the details are there. Got to order the parts. I wait a couple months sometime on parts. You want to order anything, it's a 1 to 3 month wait. Most likely won't be that long. Generator boards have the longest wait. Just the negative resistant ringer circuit, which would just be this for experimenting, $350. I don't foresee the wait being too long. Our stock is pretty good at the moment on materials. And yeah, and like I said, we're setting up a Proton mail now too as well, because Gmail is playing games with us along with YouTube, and only platforms aren't playing games with us are Patreon, and we're going to be setting up like Proton mail and stuff. So again, thank you everyone. A display of the system. I'll disconnect the 10 watt incandescent load, show that we can still achieve the hyper recharge effect. I shut the ringer system off, and we maintain quite a decent charge, one that is higher than we started with while running a load. And yeah, it's just very impressive technology. And thank you again, everybody. And the reason the voltage is dropping so rapidly on this is because this is a completely worn out, dead, almost 10-year-old battery. Old school AGM, shouldn't be used for testing. Got it for free from work, just to play with and really stress test the system to prove some points. And again, thank you everybody. All links in the description, and you order anything, it'll be a 1 to 3 month wait. 3 months, worst case scenario. And thank you again, everybody.